if you're writing C# and you find yourself writing if statement after if statement after if statement with if, else, then there's a better way, and that's in the form of the switch statement. Switch statement's an alternative to long if statements that we can use in C#. So let's start with an example of a really long if statement, or just an unnecessary one. So in this console we've got a variable called greeting, which is just equal to a string called hello, and we can write some code around what we want to do with this depending on what the variable is. So we can say if greeting is equal to hello, then we'll do some stuff. Then you also might want to say else if greeting is equal to salut, which is French. So then do something else. Or you want to get super nerdy and you say if greeting is equal to live long, you can say return and prosper, even though we're not returning a string here. So maybe I should put this into like a separate function. So make it static because it's a console application. Handle greeting. Put all of this in here, and then the main method will just call handle greeting. Okay, and I'm going to change these up because they're the wrong evaluation operator. Cool. Okay, so and this could go on for ages. You know, this could go on forever. Just else if this, else if that. Now, realistically, we don't want to do this. It doesn't read very well, and it's not very efficient. So, an alternative to this is what we call the switch statement. And the switch statement is available in lots of different languages, but for this example, we're going to look at it in C#. So instead of using this, we're going to change it up to switch. So when you say switch, you input what you want to evaluate. So for us, we want to check greeting. And then we evaluate the greeting with lots of different things called cases. So for each case, if that case is true, we execute a specific kind of functionality. So I'll put a first one in as an example. I think there we go. Yeah, it's lowercase. I thought that was weird. So case hello with a colon at the end, and then our functionality. So this is essentially saying, in the case that the greeting is equal to hello, then we'll do whatever we want to do for that condition. And then we input something called a break, which means that we're finished with the switch statement. We can break out of it, similar to a way that you would break out of a loop, and we can carry on the execution of the code. And then we can carry on down here with salut. Again, it's our French greeting, and we can just do something specific to that, and then break, and we can keep going. So we can say if it is equal to live long, we can return and prosper, for all the Star Trek fans out there. Okay, and we can keep going on and on and on. So we're still evaluating lots of different conditions, but it's in a format which is a lot more readable. And this is often used in things like factory classes, anything that has to evaluate an input in order to take a specific action. Now, this is not saying that you don't have to write if statements anymore. Of course, it's probably overkill to do this instead of any if statements, but if you find yourself in a situation where you're writing if else, else if else, if else, if else over and over again, this is a good alternative. One important part to remember for this as well is that you need something which will act as kind of like a catch-all. So if whatever is inputted into the switch statement is not something that you're evaluating, you've got some logic to handle that. So there's another keyword in here called default. So this is an alternative to case, and this is what you do by default, essentially, if what comes in is not something which is in that list of things that you are evaluating. So you can just say return return, or you could throw an error, or you could just break. So as long as you're handling that, then whatever you pass into the switch statement will be handled regardless. And that's pretty much it. It's an alternative to a very long if statement, and a lot of other developers will thank you for it.